Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. Right, I've dug out my old Commodore C64C. Don't have a bread bin, I got this donated last year. So what I'm going to do is, the video before this was cleaned, it was checked inside, checked if it worked or whatever, which is fine, but I've had this out in the sun. Now I'm going to insert a video here, which is part of an old video which shows you exactly what the condition of this was before it went out in just sun. No peroxide, just sun only. And I'll admit, I have never had one of these. A Commodore 64. I remember a friend, I think a friend at school had a VIC-20, either a VIC-20 or something like that, but this is old, this is dirty, this is sticky, this is made in Hong Kong, but that doesn't matter. That's the whole point of this channel. Commodore 64. I'm going to fix that with the power supply. Use that either as a backup or a spare or something anyway, but apart from retro brighting, it's going to be doing next year. I'm quite proud of that. So yeah, ending on a high note for a change. Now, that should give you a clue of what exactly this looks like before and obviously now after. This was left out in the sun for as many days as I could. When the sun was out, it was outside, on the table in the garden, on top of the bins, just left alone. The keys could do with being a little bit more, but if it's working out as well as what it does, that's not bad at all really. The back, unfortunately, is still a little bit yellow, which I need to bake that side as well, but it's not bad. For a non-chemical retro brighting, the Atari ST was absolutely brilliant because that got done straight away. The keys was really done very quickly. But with this, at least, it takes its time. Put it in the sun will bleach it a little bit. You need to do it over weeks and weeks. You could do a bit more, but I'm just going to try and keep doing this. It's no rush. It'll be in the garage for years and years to come, so why not? Right, what I'm going to do with this is now as follows. I have been shopping again. I went on Retroleum's website for a new, or at least near damn it new, RF shielding. It's only made out in cardboard, but I remember the one inside here is absolutely shocking. So we'll put that in. I've got a recap kit. Not many caps, to be honest, but yeah, best preventative more than anything, because it does work. Also, got some few heat sinks and a fuse as well to make sure that the certain chips are running fine. These two I think came with the pack, but that one came with the when I tried doing the Spectrum, which it completely failed and I nearly completely knackered the ULA chip on it. But they're going to be in there as well. I'll put them where they're supposed to, and that one I'll find a nice chip to sit that one on anyway. And that should be it. So all we need to do now is get inside this and get it stripped down. Right, we're fully in pieces now. Only thing I need to remember is with the screws, they're all the same screws except for there's two thin threaded ones. And I think these are a little bit longer holding the keyboard up, but that's for a later time anyway. Right, so you can tell the RF shield is quite pitted, like it's been stored wet. Now, the new one is a heck of a lot better. I know there's a lot of people who don't like to use these, but I'm going for originality, so in with the new one, out with the old. That goes to one side for the time being. So, need to get this outside, because the sun's out again. Surprisingly, I'm going to the sunny day. Or it appears that way. So, we're on with this. It's a revision A board. If that helps anybody at all. So what I'm going to do then, is obviously capacitors first. A little bit tarnished on these. I don't know if I can do anything with this. Maybe I could polish this up. There's no, just print into there it says Commodore. But whether or not I can polish that, I can't do anything with that because I want to keep these stickers on there. Maybe a little bit more cleanup left to do as well. But let's start by doing something with the caps. The cap kit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 caps. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, okay. Oh, there is 9, yeah. Power regulator works fine, so I need to change that, so I need to get these out and new ones in. Right, that was a bit dramatic. I couldn't get this new larger fuse, the 1000 farad fuse into there. I don't know what, I think the actual, oh, this side got some muck as well. The actual legs on the capacitor just seem a bit thicker than normal. But this, the top bit went in fine, the bottom bit didn't, and I don't know why. But it's in now, it's soldered nicely in place. I can't fully understand why. The arrows point down to negative there, obviously. Okay, I'll leave it at that. This is doing exactly what it should do. So, away. Just getting a bit more cleaning around here. So it's a lot of heat. I don't like, nowadays, don't like using too much heat. It's a bit of a problem with me. Right. Let's go to the next job, shall we? Next job's a fuse. Very easy to do. One fuse there. If you... Let's take it you haven't watched the first videos. The original fuse, here it is. It's wrapped in fuse wire. You can see there, because it was already blown and nobody couldn't be bothered to put a new fuse in there. So let's get the new one. They don't cost much anyway. That's straight in, clicks into place. That's another job done. One for the bin. Right, we have two bagged heat sinks. Now I don't know which chips these actually should be going on, what they recommend. It's already pre-stuck anyway, so it means clean the port, yada. Two methods of using cases together. What? Okay, so I don't know exactly which chips are what here, but we'll find it. Two methods used to hold this together. Model, oh, it's like disassembling, cleaning, yep. Fitting the heat sink. Locate the SID 8582 chip. (8582). That one, possibly. CPU 8500. Am I just blind? Right, I am. 89. And the VIC 8565. 8565. Come on, Ralph. 8565 R2. 8562. So it looks like, yeah. So all I'll do with these now is put them in the right spot, probably like that, because I think that is, ooh, I've got 3 in there, so I've got 4 then. Okay, that's why it suggests doing that. And I'll put the 4th one on. These are same size. So what I'll do is peel the back off. Recommend you clean off as much as you can, hold in place. Just hold it when you've peeled off the rubber backing. The plastic backing. So it won't be that one. Probably there. Possibly there. maybe there, and that little one will probably go on that, I think. But give me a minute or two to figure out exactly which chip's which, and I'll get back to you in a sec. Right then, there we have it. 1, 2, 3. It wants to go on the CPU, the SID chip. Oh no, that's the SID chip, that's the VIC chip, and that's the CPU. I decided to put it on the MMU as well. It looks like a quite big chip. It's either that or either the CIA chips, but the Plumfoot middle one. It's a spare. It might be any use, it might not be any use. So let's just leave it as is. So I've got 4 heat sinked on there anyway, which should help me no end. So let's get this thing back together now. Now I've actually had this outside earlier, because it looked like a really nice day, and then it started to rain. Typical English weather. Oh, that's where the keyboard goes, you silly sod. Now I have a problem with this, because the 3 clips on the back here, they're virtually all gone. The left hand one has got a tiny bit of a hook, middle one, half of the hook, and the right hand one is completely missing. So putting the case back together, it only screws on the front and then lips underneath these parts here. So I have a small problem with it. It's not entirely the end of the world, but it annoys me a little bit. I might consider getting a little bit of hot glue, and while it's still malleable, put a dab on each one of these, closing the lid, letting it hold it in place, not glue it in place. Hot glue is never really a permanent solution to a lot of things, but it will hold it quite well. Really should have put all the extra bits in the bin, shouldn't I? Instead of putting all the caps and the legs in there. It's a bit tricky to get my screws out. Looks like there's 7 screws holding the board in, 4 at the back, 3 at the front. 3 screws, no, 2 screws holding the keyboard. Going nicely. That's those in place. Let me check there's no middle one. No, no, and no. They're through okay. Good. I can't really do too much with the shields around that. You know what I've done? The one thing I shouldn't have done. Put that in. Oh goody. Ah well. Meanwhile, well, one last thing I thought I needed to buy, and I forgot all about it. So, boards in. 1, 2, 3, 4. What gets me a little bit on the C64C with the cardboard cutout parts, 1, 2, 3 chips, the holes in this that they've already cut out. So it's for those 3 chips anyway, the ones that we got the heat sinks for. So they were expecting overheating. Well, they must have been expecting some sort of overheating problem anyway. Look at that on there. That looks really good, that now. Not completely flat, but it's fine. Keyboard in. Keyboard does look pretty good. And that goes in there. Haven't missed anything. Slides underneath the lips on here. Line myself up. Now I want the 2 screws with the thinner threads for this. So screwed into metal. One over there. That bracket. One over here. For that bracket. And that's just going round. So what I want to do in a bit like that is take that out, put a dab of glue behind it. I don't know why it's spinning. Maybe I haven't got it right. Yeah, the threads on the scroll have almost gone. So I'm going to get a bit of glue, a bit of super glue, dab it on the thread, screw it in place, and it'll lock itself into place. Right, so what I'll do, get the screw, I need to drop on there, just to wrap through the threads. Once it coats inside there, then you get it to the stage of, you know it's going to hold leave it, let the thing dry, and then it'll fix the threads on the, well, it won't permanently fix the threads on the metal, but it'll hold it in place way more than enough of what you need. So all we need now is the top. So that goes in there, like so. So what I need to do is, two will go in place a little bit and that one won't. Maybe just a dab of hot glue, or is that enough? Okay-ish. There's a crack on the corner then anyway. Actually, I think we'll leave it. I've not had a problem with it before, so let's just leave it. See if any of these around. Just get to the part where you can, it just nips a little bit. Don't go beyond that. These are 2 old plastics. You'll end up breaking them even more. So a little bit of grip there, it's fine. And there we go. One C64C fully done. Now let's see. I haven't actually tried it to see if it works yet, have I? Whoops, that's a little bit unfortunate. I've got that much faith that it's going to work. Okay, let me get this rigged up to the TV and see if she works. Now, what surprised me, I don't have a cable for this one, for the output for the monitor. I thought I did. So that doesn't matter. I've still got the RF cable out the back, and if I can show you, it's all working. So we'll go Commodore. No, we'll go run stop. Syntax error. Yep. Load. Press play on tape. So she's working fine. Television off. Television on. Well, comes up 64K. And there she is. Byte free. Okay. So at 64K, that's 64,000 bytes. There's nearly just over half of it free. It takes a bit to actually get it all going, isn't it? That's a bit weird. But not to worry. That's what these things do. So anyway, that's job. I can get the camera back in right. That's job done. So hooray for the C64. All capped, all working, all spot on. It'll do me. So I'll get this away, bagged up. Well, actually not. I want to get a little bit more retro brighting on the keyboard, which I'm not going to take these off because I think there's springs behind it and other bits and bats. So actually, should we try one while we're here? Let's try an ominous. Yeah, I could do with one. There's just a spring holding in the letter and a clip on top of. So it's not the end of the world if I don't do it, but it does mean another couple of sessions outside to yeah, play around. So I'm happy with that. Capped and heat sorted for the next, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years maybe. So job done, job sorted, job very happy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Please consider being a Patreon, helping out the channel. Like, subscribe, share it on your own channels. Usual stuff that I wouldn't mind you if you could help out the channel a lot. And thanks to my Patreons, thanks to my subscribers. Hi. And basically, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Next project coming soon.